Weaving is an ancient craft that has been central to human civilization for millennia, creating textiles that have not only served practical purposes but also played significant roles in culture, economy, and art. The process of weaving involves the interlacing of threads, called the warp and weft, to form fabric, and it has evolved tremendously over time. From traditional handlooms to modern mechanized weaving, this art form has left its mark on different societies around the world. At its core, weaving is about creating textiles by crossing yarns or fibers at right angles to one another. The warp, which consists of vertical threads, forms the foundation upon which the weft, horizontal threads, is interwoven. This basic principle can be found in the earliest known woven artifacts, dating back to ancient civilizations like those in Egypt and Mesopotamia. However, weaving is more than just a practical technique for making clothing or blankets. It is a complex, artistic endeavor that reflects the creativity and innovation of those who practice it. Historically, weaving played a crucial role in the development of trade routes and economies. For instance, the production of silk in China led to the establishment of the famous Silk Road, connecting East Asia to Europe and facilitating not only the exchange of goods but also the spread of ideas and cultures. Weaving was also central to the economies of ancient Egypt, Greece, and Rome. The importance of textiles in these societies can be seen in their art, literature, and even religion, where woven fabrics were used as offerings to deities or as symbols of wealth and power. As weaving spread across continents, different cultures developed their unique styles and techniques. For example, in Africa, the tradition of kente cloth weaving in Ghana involves creating intricate patterns and symbols that tell stories or represent cultural values. In the Americas, the Navajo people are renowned for their hand-woven rugs and blankets, which incorporate geometric designs that often have spiritual significance. The Andean cultures of South America, particularly in Peru, have a rich history of weaving alpaca wool into garments and tapestries with bold, colorful designs. Each of these traditions adds to the rich tapestry of global weaving heritage. With the Industrial Revolution came a significant shift in the production of textiles. The invention of the mechanical loom, most notably the jacquard loom, transformed weaving from a manual craft to a large-scale industrial process. The jacquard loom, invented by Joseph Marie Jacquard in the early 19th century, allowed for the automated production of complex patterns, greatly increasing the speed and efficiency of textile manufacturing. This mechanization led to the mass production of fabrics, reducing their cost and making them more accessible to a broader population. However, it also marked the decline of hand weaving as a dominant form of textile production, though artisanal weaving continues to thrive in certain regions and among those dedicated to preserving traditional techniques. Modern weaving encompasses a wide variety of practices, from industrial textile manufacturing to experimental art forms. On one end of the spectrum, highly automated weaving machines produce vast quantities of fabric for clothing, home furnishings, and industrial uses. On the other end, contemporary artists use weaving to create sculptures, installations, and tapestries that push the boundaries of the medium. In today's globalized world, weaving is not only a functional craft but also a means of artistic expression, social commentary, and even political activism. Artists and weavers often explore themes of identity, tradition, and modernity, using textiles as a medium to reflect on issues such as gender, labor, and the environment. Sustainability has also become a critical consideration in contemporary weaving practices. The environmental impact of large-scale textile production, particularly in the fast fashion industry, has led many weavers and designers to seek out eco-friendly materials and techniques. This includes the use of organic fibers, natural dyes, and practices that reduce water consumption and waste. Additionally, there is a growing interest in slow fashion and the revival of hand weaving as a way to create high-quality, sustainable textiles that support local economies and preserve cultural heritage. Weaving, despite the technological advancements that have shaped its evolution, remains a deeply human activity. It connects us to our ancestors and to the natural world through the materials we use and the stories we tell through our patterns and designs. Whether in the hands of an artisan in a small village or in a cutting-edge textile factory, weaving continues to be an essential part of our daily lives, shaping the fabrics we wear, the rugs we walk on, and the art we admire. Through weaving, the threads of history, culture, and innovation are tightly interwoven, creating a vibrant and enduring legacy. Weaving, as a multifaceted craft, extends far beyond its technical aspects, delving into the social, cultural, and symbolic realms of human experience. One of the most intriguing dimensions of weaving is its connection to storytelling and symbolism. In many cultures, weaving patterns and motifs are used to communicate messages, share histories, or signify specific meanings. For instance, the intricate designs found in traditional textiles of indigenous peoples often carry symbolic weight, with certain colors and patterns representing everything from religious beliefs to ancestral connections. In West African kente cloth, for example, each pattern and color combination has a specific meaning, often tied to proverbs or events in the weaver's life. This form of symbolic communication allows weavers to tell stories through their work, making each textile a form of living history. Another important aspect of weaving is its role in gender and labor divisions throughout history. Traditionally, weaving has often been seen as women's work in many cultures. In ancient Greece, the goddess Athena was believed to be the patron of weaving, and the craft was closely associated with the domestic sphere, where women were expected to produce textiles for their families. However, in some societies, men also played a significant role in weaving, particularly in cultures where textile production was highly valued or seen as a specialized skill. For instance, in parts of Asia and Africa, male weavers were respected artisans, creating textiles for royal courts or religious purposes. The division of labor in weaving has shifted over time, with industrialization altering the gender dynamics of the craft. Today, both men and women are engaged in weaving, whether through artisanal hand weaving or large-scale industrial production. The spiritual and ritualistic importance of weaving cannot be understated. Throughout history, weaving has often been tied to religious or spiritual practices. In the Andes, weaving was considered a sacred activity, with specific rituals performed to ensure the success of the weaver's work. Textiles were used in ceremonies, offerings, and burial practices, symbolizing the connection between the human and divine worlds. Similarly, in ancient Egypt, the weaving of linen for temple offerings was considered a holy act. The symbolism of weaving is also present in many mythologies. The Greek myth of Arachne, for example, tells the story of a mortal woman who challenged the goddess Athena to a weaving contest. When Arachne won, she was transformed into a spider, eternally weaving her web. This myth not only highlights the skill involved in weaving but also its deeper connection to fate, creation, and the cosmos. Weaving also plays a crucial role in the preservation of cultural identity, particularly in indigenous and marginalized communities. For many of these communities, weaving is more than just a craft. It is a way of maintaining traditions, passing down knowledge from generation to generation, and resisting the pressures of cultural assimilation. In regions like Southeast Asia, the Middle East, and South America, traditional weaving techniques are preserved as a vital part of cultural heritage. These communities often face the threat of globalization, which can lead to the erosion of traditional practices. However, through the revival of interest in artisanal crafts and sustainable practices, many weaving traditions are experiencing a resurgence. Weavers are finding new ways to innovate while staying true to their roots, ensuring that their cultural identity remains woven into the fabric of modern life. Technological advancements have played a significant role in transforming weaving practices over the centuries. The Industrial Revolution, as previously mentioned, introduced mechanized looms that could produce textiles at unprecedented speeds. But even in recent decades, weaving technology has continued to evolve. The introduction of computerized looms and digital textile design software has revolutionized the way fabrics are created. Designers can now create intricate patterns and textures that were once impossible to achieve by hand, pushing the boundaries of what weaving can accomplish. These technologies have also made it possible to explore new materials, such as synthetic fibers and innovative blends, allowing for textiles with unique properties like water resistance, durability, or even smart fabrics that can respond to environmental stimuli. While hand weaving remains a cherished art form, modern technology has opened new frontiers for the craft, blending tradition with innovation in exciting and unexpected ways. Weaving, at its core, is a practice that ties together threads of history, culture, technology, and art. Its evolution from ancient handlooms to modern industrial machines reflects the adaptability and resilience of this craft. Yet, no matter how advanced the techniques become, the essence of weaving remains unchanged, taking individual threads and intertwining them to create something greater than the sum of its parts. Whether practiced by artisans in a small village or by technicians in a high-tech factory, weaving continues to be a testament to human creativity, ingenuity, and the enduring desire to connect through the things we make. Its influence is seen in every aspect of our lives, from the clothes we wear to the stories we tell, ensuring that the craft of weaving will continue to evolve, inspire, and endure for generations to come. Weaving's influence extends far into the realm of art, where it has transcended its traditional function as a craft and become a powerful medium for creative expression. Throughout history, weaving has been used to produce tapestries, which often depicted historical events, mythological stories, or religious scenes. These woven artworks were hung in castles, churches, and palaces, serving not only as decoration but also as a way to communicate political power or religious devotion. In more modern contexts, artists like Annie Albers, a member of the Bauhaus movement, pushed the boundaries of weaving by exploring its abstract and geometric possibilities. Her work elevated weaving from a domestic craft to a recognized art form, influencing future generations of textile artists. Today, contemporary weavers continue to experiment with form, material, and technique, creating works that challenge our perceptions of fabric, space, and even time. Weaving has also been an important tool for economic empowerment, particularly in rural and underprivileged communities around the world. In places like India, Africa, and Latin America, weaving cooperatives have been established to support local artisans, providing them with fair wages, access to global markets, and the ability to preserve the traditional crafts. These cooperatives often focus on empowering women, who make up a large portion of the workforce in many weaving communities. By providing economic opportunities, weaving has become a means of lifting families and communities out of poverty. This model not only helps preserve cultural heritage but also promotes sustainable development by using local materials and environmentally friendly practices. Many of these cooperatives also reinvest in their communities, supporting education, healthcare, and infrastructure improvements, further enhancing the quality of life for those involved. In the world of fashion, weaving has had a profound impact on the way we think about clothing and textiles. Many of the world's most famous fashion designers have been inspired by traditional weaving techniques and textiles, incorporating them into their haute couture collections. Designers like Yves Saint Laurent and Alexander McQueen drew on the rich history of woven fabrics, using everything from hand-woven tartans to intricate brocades in their designs. This fusion of traditional craftsmanship and modern fashion has resulted in some of the most iconic pieces in fashion history. Moreover, the slow fashion movement, which emphasizes ethical production and sustainability, has brought renewed attention to handwoven textiles. Consumers are increasingly seeking out unique, handcrafted garments that tell a story, moving away from the mass-produced items of fast fashion. In this way, weaving has become a symbol of quality, sustainability, and individuality in the fashion industry. The tactile nature of weaving has also made it an important medium for therapeutic and meditative practices. The rhythmic, repetitive motions involved in weaving can have a calming effect, making it an ideal activity for those seeking mindfulness and relaxation. Many weaving workshops and retreats have emerged, offering participants the chance to engage with the craft as a form of creative therapy. These programs are often aimed at individuals dealing with stress, trauma, or mental health issues, providing them with a way to express themselves through a hands-on, immersive process. The act of weaving, with its focus on creating something tangible from a simple thread, can be incredibly grounding, offering a sense of accomplishment and focus that can be deeply therapeutic. In this way, weaving serves not only as a form of artistic creation but also as a pathway to personal healing and reflection. As weaving continues to evolve, it is increasingly being viewed through the lens of environmental sustainability. With growing concerns over the environmental impact of the textile industry, particularly in terms of pollution, waste, and resource depletion, there is a renewed interest in traditional, eco-friendly weaving practices. Many weavers are turning to natural fibers, such as cotton, wool, and linen, as well as alternative materials like bamboo, hemp, and recycled fibers. These sustainable materials are often combined with natural dyes, which are derived from plants, minerals, and insects, reducing the harmful effects of synthetic chemicals on the environment. Additionally, the slow, deliberate nature of hand weaving stands in stark contrast to the rapid, high-waste processes of industrial textile production. By embracing these sustainable practices, weavers are helping to promote a more environmentally conscious approach to textile creation, one that values quality, craftsmanship, and the preservation of natural resources. Ultimately, weaving is a craft that embodies the interconnectedness of human history, culture, and creativity. It is a practice that has been passed down through generations, evolving alongside technological advancements and changing social structures. Yet, at its core, weaving remains a deeply personal and communal activity, one that brings people together through the shared experience of making. Whether used to tell stories, create art, empower communities, or promote sustainability, weaving continues to play a vital role in shaping the fabric of our lives. Its threads connect the past to the present, the traditional to the modern, and the local to the global, ensuring that weaving will remain a dynamic and relevant craft for generations to come.